everyone, you've tuned into Buy Now Sell Now Weekend. I'm Mubina Kapasi and we have a jam-packed show for you today. Well, first up on the show, we'll be discussing your queries, and this time around it'll be on Chola Finance as well as STC India. And in our portfolio segment today, we'll be discussing Nitin Chauhan's portfolio on the show. And of course, as always, we'll be getting you top technical as well as fundamental picks. So let's get straight to our viewer queries then, and let's bring on board all of our guests who will be helping you with that. First up, we have Shrikant Chauhan, the Senior VP of Technicals, to address the technical side of the market, and Vikas Sethi, the MD at Sethi Finmart, will be joining us on the fundamentals. Welcome to the show, both of you gentlemen, and let's bring on board our very first viewer query. First up, we have Chandana Paul, who has sent in two queries from Bengaluru. Now, her first query is on Chola Finance. She says she's bought 100 shares of Chola Finance, purchased at a price point of 870 rupees per share. She's planning to hold it for 6 months. Her question, should she hold or sell? Well, I'll just tell you a bit about the company. Chola Finance has been in the news lately on the back of the pact that it had entered into with Dena Bank to distribute the bank's insurance products. But apart from that, more importantly, is the view that's coming in on demonetization impacts on a host of these NBFC companies. Remember that Chola Finance is yet to announce its Q3 results. So yes, that's when we'll know on how that one has taken it when it came to the note ban. So let's go across and get a fundamental perspective first from Chola Finance. And Vikas, over to you. How does the fundamentals of this one look for you, and what would you advise our viewer to do?
Yeah, Mubina, the investor has bought it at a very good level. He's sitting on some profits, but it's an excellent company. It's a NBFC from the Murugappa Group. The company is doing pretty well, although the stock has corrected from its recent highs because of the negative impact of demonetization, but I think that would be temporary. I continue to remain bullish on the stock, and I would recommend a hold on the stock.
All right, hold on to this stock. There is some more money to be made over here. And of course, you know, our viewer has bought at a very good price. In fact, Vikas is recommending targets of 1,000 rupees. Shrikant, over to you then on the technicals. We have seen the stock correct quite a bit in the recent past. This week itself, it was a very lackluster trade for Chola Investments. So what would you advise her to do? She has a time horizon of 6 months.
Yeah, Mubina. I do agree with the views of Vikas, because the way the stock has shown its spectacular performance, I think now the stock is into consolidation phase. It is going to spend some time in case if say like market turns weak, or because of say like a lot of news flow which are there lined up in the near future. If there is any fall towards 850, 800 kind of levels, then it will be an opportunity for that investors to invest more. But in case say like investor want to hold on to these positions, then I think certainly this stock is going to bounce back from here. At least technically we can again see the levels of 1100, 1150 on the higher side, which is we can say almost 10 to 15% kind of appreciation from current levels. So it's a clearly hold at current levels, and if there is any decline because of any reason, we should look for add more to our positional portfolio.
Okay, that's a fairly positive call really coming in on Chola Finance. In fact, Shrikant is saying that if it does slip furthermore, that stock actually can be added onto the portfolio, maybe an opportunity for averaging out the cost. Let's move on then and get in her next query, and this time around it's on STC India. Now, Chandana says she's bought 100 shares of STC India, purchased at a price point of 200 rupees per share. What should be her approach for a time horizon of 6 months? Do remember, STC India is a stock that has in fact rallied quite a bit since the last couple of sessions, and yes, it has been a premier international trading company for the government, engaged primarily in the exports and imports operation, and of course it has been in the news on the back of the divestment targets that the government is aiming to achieve. So Vikas, first over to you. How do the fundamentals look for STC India? We have seen that company really post losses quarter after quarter, but do you think there is potential for money to be made here?
Yeah, Mubina, although the stock has rallied lately and the investor is sitting on profits, I would recommend a sell on the stock, because I feel he should book his profits and switch to some other good quality stocks, because I don't feel the fundamentals of STC look good. So my advice to the investor would be to switch to a PSU company by the name of NBCC. Which I like at the current levels, and I will talk about the details of the stock, why I like the stock in the later segment when I talk about my wealth creation ideas.
Okay, fair enough. At this point of time, of course, Vikas is advising a sell. Take charge of this rally, take advantage of this rally that has come, book your profits and move out. NBCC is an advice coming in from Vikas. Shrikant, on the technicals, like Vikas was just pointing out, we have seen a significant rally that has come in on STC India in the last 1 month, though, of course, last week looks a little lackluster. But yes, there you have it, 84% higher for STC India in just 1 month. So how does it look on the charts?
See, technically STC looks weak. The reason is that the long-term charts are like really not showing any specific trend. Yes, definitely in the short term, because of there is a news flow for all PSU companies, the stock is like moving upward and there is like momentum. But I'm of the view with that the way it is clearly non-trending kind of scenario on long-term charts for STC, I am of the view that it is better to get out of that stock. One can exit out of this stock and look for any other options. So there are like number of options which are available in the market, and we are of the view that Ingenious India is the stock to look for buying at current levels, which is currently at 155, 156. There we have a very strong like long-term targets. We are of the view that it is heading for some 250, 270 kind of levels in next couple of months or year. So it's a great investment at current levels. Currently it is at 150 by 156, and we don't think that the stock is going to fall heavily in the near future.
Okay, so I think it's a unanimous call coming in on the technicals as well as the fundamentals that STC India is a sell. Do book out whatever profits you have made, and in fact do consider the options that our experts have given you. Let's just slip into a short break, but when we come back, we'll be discussing Nitin Chauhan's portfolio, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is Buy Now Sell Now Weekend, and it's time to bring on board our portfolio segment. And today we will be discussing Nitin Chauhan's portfolio. Let's tell you a bit about him. He's 37 years of age and he's employed in the IT sector. He has a fairly long-term time horizon. In fact, he's an investor for the last, or rather he can invest for up to 10 to 12 years. So let's run you through all of the stocks that have found a place in his portfolio. First up, making an appearance, large cap pharma space. Aurobindo Pharma is a stock that he has purchased, bought at 633 rupees per share at 258 shares of that. BEL as well, making some good money, in fact, for him, that one, 1109 rupees per share is where he's purchased 136 shares. Moving on, NCC as well has found a place, 84 rupees is where that one is where he's purchased that one at. And then there's DHFL, which he's purchased at 230 rupees per share, 626 shares purchased for that one. From the auto space then, there's Bharat Forge, purchased at 1,179 rupees. That one's a bit of a pain point for him. Ashok Leyland as well from the auto space at 65 rupees, where he is making some decent money. And from the NBFC space, it's Capital First, purchased at 391 rupees, 355 shares purchased of that one. Dishman Pharma, once again from the pharma space, 154.25 is his cost price, where he's making some decent money over there as well. Suzlon Energy finds some place on his portfolio. 19 rupees is where he's purchased that one at. Amara Raja purchased at 913 rupees, 89 shares purchased of that stock. And another 248 shares purchased of Motherson Sumi, bought at a price point of 302 rupees. Well, as you can see, a mix of large cap and small cap names, and very sectorally diverse. And mind you, it's been purchased at very, very odd figures. But let's get you through and whether you should change any of these holdings in your portfolio. Let's run you through the first three stocks. First up, Aurobindo Pharma at 633. He's making some money over there, and so is he making money on Bharat Electronics, which he's purchased just at 1,109 rupees, and currently the stock is trading at 1,500 and upwards. And lastly, NCC Limited, 84 rupees is where he's purchased it at. So Vikas, tell us what exactly is your advice on these three stocks in his portfolio?
Yeah, Mubina, first I would like to compliment the investor for having invested into good quality stocks. And as you rightly pointed out, he has diversified across sectors and across stocks within the sector. So his first three stocks, namely Aurobindo Pharma, he's bought it at the right level. He's sitting on some profits. The entire pharma sector is undergoing some pain because of US FDA issues, but I think those would be resolved sooner than later. So I continue to remain bullish on Aurobindo Pharma and would recommend a hold. He should hold on to Aurobindo Pharma, and my target in a year would be 900 rupees on the stock. The second stock which he owns is Bharat Electronics, again bought at a pretty good level, sitting on around 40% gains. But this is a quality stock, the leading defense player, and we have a lot of expectations in the forthcoming budget as far as the defense sector is concerned, and that would be pretty positive for Bharat Electronics. So I would recommend a hold on Bharat Electronics, and my year-end target would be 1750 rupees on the stock. And the third stock which he owns is NCC, again a good quality infrastructure company, mainly into road projects. That sector is also likely to get a lot of focus from the government in the budget. So I would even maintain a hold on NCC, where my targets are 110 in a year.
Okay, so all these three stocks get a thumbs up from Vikas Sethi. Aurobindo Pharma targets of 900 is what you can watch out for. In fact, he says it's a quality pharma company. BEL as well is going to be a beneficiary on any sort of defense announcements that are going to be made in the budget, and so will NCC be in relation to any road projects that the government may announce in the upcoming union budget. Moving on to the next three stocks in his portfolio. First up, from the housing finance space, he has DHFL, which he's purchased at 230 rupees, where he's making some modest gains. Bharat Forge, however, from the auto space is a pain point for him, purchased at 1,179 rupees. And lastly, there's Ashok Leyland, where he's made a good bet over there as well, purchased at 65 rupees. So Vikas, what's your view on these three stocks?
Yeah, as far as DHFL is concerned, again bought at the right level, sitting on some profit. I remain bullish on this stock. This is one of the good quality housing finance companies and trades at reasonable valuations. We have a meeting also, board meeting also lined up on Monday, when they plan to raise some funds, so which would be positive for the stock. So I would recommend a hold on DHFL with a target of 325 in a year. The other stock is Bharat Forge, although he has bought it at a higher level and sitting on some losses, but since he is willing to wait for a longer period of time, there is no need to worry. This is again a very good stock. Apart from being into auto component space, this is also a defense play, plus their class 8 trucks are also getting some good orders from the US, so this stock also should do well. So I think he should continue, and I think he would see his price in a year's time. And the third stock is Ashok Leyland, again a good quality stock, although September quarter results were not good and the stock was beaten down, but still he is sitting on profit. But I think from the current levels we could see rally in Ashok Leyland with the kind of improvement which is being witnessed in the CV cycle. So I'm bullish on Ashok Leyland also, so I would recommend a hold on the stock.
Okay, once again, all of them get a thumbs up from Vikas. DHFL, a hold, target at 325 rupees, some money to be made there. Don't fret too much on the losses you're making on Bharat Forge, because you will be able to recover that money. And then, in fact, targets of 1,150 is where Vikas is placing that. And lastly, Ashok Leyland as well is a hold. Moving on, and the next three stocks in his portfolio. First up is NBCC from the public space. It's 183 rupees is where he's purchased it. Capital First as well at 391. Both of these stocks he's making some brilliant money over there, and in fact even Dishman Pharma purchased at 154. So I think really it's hats off to the price point at which he's purchased all of these stocks. Vikas, your call.
Yeah, as far as NBCC is concerned, the stock is excellent. It's an excellent company, and I would actually, in fact, recommend this stock to be bought at the current levels in the later segment today. So I would maintain a hold on this stock, and even one could buy into this stock at the current level, and I have a target of 375 rupees on the stock in a year. The second stock is Capital First, and an excellent NBFC headed by some good aggressive management. The stock has done well over the past 2 years, and I think same kind of performance would continue in the coming years. So I would maintain a hold on even Capital First with a target of 750 in a year. And the third stock is Dishman Pharma, again a mid-cap pharma company doing well, reported good numbers for September quarter, and I expect this company to be doing well, and it could turn out to be giving substantial returns if one were to hold on to the stock over the next, say, 2 to 3 years. So I would maintain a hold on Dishman Pharma with a target of 300 rupees in a year.
All right, NBCC is one of Vikas's recommendations anyway, so it's a whole call on that one, a good quality stock over there. There's Capital First as well, which he believes in fact can double from your market price from where you have purchased it at. And lastly, Dishman Pharma from the pharma space as well is a whole. And moving on to the next three stocks, Suzlon, Amara Raja as well as Motherson Sumi. Vikas, your call.
Yeah, Suzlon is the only stock which it does not look good, in the sense he is first incurring losses, and secondly the stock has not been able to meet its expectations, although we've seen Mr. Dilip Sangve and family also getting into this company. But still, I think one would need to wait and watch for some quarters before one say really is confident about investing into this stock. So I would recommend a sell, book losses in Suzlon, and invest the funds into a banking stock. He does not have any bank in his portfolio, so I would recommend a switch to an IDFC bank, where I have a target of 90 rupees in a year. The other stock is Amara Raja Batteries, again a good quality company. With the kind of growth being witnessed in the auto sector, this company is also likely to do pretty well. I have a target of 1100 rupees, so I would recommend a hold. And the final stock which he owns is again an auto component company by the name of Motherson Sumi, which he has bought at the right levels. My target in a year is 400 rupees, so he could continue to hold on to this stock. This is also a good quality auto component company.
Okay, just one change over there. Suzlon actually can be replaced with an IDFC bank, and Vikas is watching out for targets of 90 rupees over there. But Amara Raja and Motherson Sumi do get a thumbs up from Vikas Sethi. In fact, I think this is one portfolio that we have received which has barely any chops and changes, so good going at that one. But do remember that this portfolio recommended here is only a model portfolio. Please do consult your individual investment advisor before taking any investment decisions. Let's slip into a short break, but when we come back, we'll be addressing the technicals as well as the fundamentals of the market. Welcome back. This is Buy Now Sell Now Weekend, and let's talk markets. The Nifty, as you can see, last week has had quite an eventful ride. In fact, barring Monday and of course Friday, we have seen the Nifty really moving steadily upwards. 1.9% of gains coming in for the benchmark index, and ditto is the move for the Sensex as well. 1.8% higher, 470 points pile on for that one. The broader markets outperforming the benchmarks like they have been since the last couple of sessions. 2% higher for the mid-cap index and another 185 points piled on for the small-cap index. Shrikant, just to bring you over here on the technicals of the market, given in light of whatever has happened, whatever's gone by in relation to the Trump speech, etc., and of course what's to come forward in terms of the Q3 numbers, what are the levels that you're mapping out for the benchmark?
Mubina, I think the way Nifty recovered from the lows of 7,900 to almost 8,450 today, and when most of the news flows are over, I am of the view that now the market is going to take some pause, or it's going to spend some time. But one thing is very clear, that the way the momentum is there and the way the market has broken its previous highest level of 8275, one thing is very clear, that the trend of the market is very strong, and any dip, any correction, in case if we see in the near term, I think that will be an opportunity for traders as well as investors to invest into it, because finally I think it looks like the market is heading for the next level, which is around 8,500, which is like the next important resistance level for the market, because there the market has spent a lot of time when it was into that sideways consolidation mode ahead of US elections. So that time market has spent a lot of time around 85. So next level to watch out for is 85, and above that we are expecting 8,700 is the next level to watch out. But for at least next 2 or 3 days, I am of the view that market is going to spend time between 8450, 8460, which is today's highest level, and on the downside 8,300 is the level. So there, in case if we see the market, we should look for entering into this market. Bank stocks did well. They recovered very well from lows, and again there also the view is that in case if we see any correction in Bank Nifty towards, let's say, 18,500 or 650, there again we should look for adding Bank Nifty to our trading portfolio, because there also we are of the view that it is heading for 19,200 or 300 in next couple of days or weeks.
Okay, fairly bullish on the markets really. In fact, Shrikant is advising that you can add on if the Nifty and Nifty Bank do touch lower levels. But let's bring in some individual ideas then. And Vikas, let's go over to you first. For investors who have more of a long-term time horizon, what are some wealth creation ideas that you have? We do know that NBCC is one stock that you're advising.
Yes, Mubina. The first stock which I would like to recommend today would be NBCC. This is a fundamentally strong Navratna PSU which is present in 3 segments, namely project management consultancy, real estate development and EPC contracts. The company is very strong. It has got a robust order book of around 71,000 crores, which is equivalent to around 12 times their FY16 revenues. So there is adequate revenue visibility. And then I feel the government's focus on infrastructure and housing would be very positive for this company, and their initiatives like 100 smart cities and housing for all by 2022, they would also be tremendously positive for a company like NBCC. This company also entered into a collaboration recently with a Russian company for smart city project, which would again be positive. They also do some work for railways in the development of their lands and railway stations. So I continue to remain bullish on the stock. It's a quality balance sheet with zero debt. So I feel one would do well to buy into the stock at the current levels of around 275, and my target in a year would be 375 rupees on the stock. The second stock which I would like to recommend is again from the infrastructure space, but it's a smaller sized company. The name of the stock is PNC Infratech. This company is also a mid-sized infrastructure company with a market cap of just about 2,700 crores and is mainly into construction of roads, highways and flyovers. This company also enjoys a pretty healthy balance sheet with zero debt, high return ratios. The results also have been good, and they also have an order book of around 5,350 crores, which is equivalent to around 2.7 times their FY16 revenues, which is quite good. So I remain positive on this stock. The stock currently trades at about 106, which is at a price earnings multiple of around 10 times its FY16 EPS, which is quite attractive for a company like PNC Infratech, which is got a pretty good balance sheet. So I remain bullish, and I would recommend a buy at the current levels of 106, and my target would be 150 rupees in a year.
Okay, NBCC as well as PNC Infra are the 2 stocks that have featured on Vikas Sethi's Wealth Creation Idea list. But Shrikant, over to you then. And on the technicals, on the charts, what are the stocks that look good to you?
We like DLF, and for the coming week our first idea is to buy DLF because it is trading at 124 levels. There are 3 reasons to buy for this particular stock. On weekly basis, the stock has formed reversal formation, and it's a classic reversal formation. Based on that, we can say that the stock is heading for minimum 150, 155 next couple of weeks or months. On daily basis, it's a volume-based activity, and lastly, directional moving index, which is showing some momentum. There also, the stock is gaining a lot of momentum. So one thing is very clear, that it is going to head upward or northward. Currently, it is at 124, 125 kind of levels with a stop loss at 118. We can take long positions on DLF, and we can keep a target of minimum 135 but maximum 150 for next 1 or 2 days of time. The other one which we like is Arvind Mills. The stock is currently at some 365, 370 levels. The stock has formed interesting formation on daily basis. It's a classic rectangle consolidation kind of formation. Whenever the stock falls to its lower boundary, it gains a lot of volume, and this time stock is very close to its upper boundary level. So above 370 we are expecting on immediate basis 390, 395. So that should be our target for this particular long trade. So with a stop loss at 357, we can take long positions on Arvind Mills at current levels, and we can keep a target of 390.
Okay, DLF and Arvind Limited are 2 buy calls coming in on the technical side of the market from Shrikant. But Vikas and Shrikant, thanks so much then for joining in, answering all of our viewer queries, and of course giving us your top picks. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now Weekend. Thanks for watching and have a lovely weekend.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/etnow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at etnowlive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.